Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Open Conversation. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. On today's episode, we'll be looking at in politics, APC mocks PDP, labels it People's Dumpster Party. And on politics also, Tinubu's one-party state unfolding according to ADC. And down to 2027, National Assembly to make PVC optional in elections. And governors running away from crisis they created, according to Siraki Dixon. And also on 2027, Obi rejects defection politics, Southeast capture. And also, women still marginalized in politics, according to the presidential aide. And don't forget, we are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placement, news and events, coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and Avo TV channel 205 on Naja TV, iFastech platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter at Atlantic TV Net. We're going to quick break, and when we return, I'll introduce my guests for the show and we'll dive right into the stories for discussion. Do stay tuned.
Minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me this morning to analyze our stories for the day is Dr. Henry Bassi, an educationalist and a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Nice to have you in the studio after a long time.
It's been a while. I'm good.
I'm glad you joined us this morning.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Welcome.
Thank you.
And also our first story for the day. All Progressives Congress APC has ridiculed the People's Democratic Party PDP, branding it the People's Dumpster Party, following a wave of controversies and defections rocking the opposition. APC National Publicity Secretary Barrister Felix Moka made the mockery in a post on X, formerly Twitter, on Wednesday. Moka accused the PDP of decades of political rascality, blinding corruption and miserable failure of leadership, saying recent troubles within the party were evidence of its decline. He cited issues involving several PDP governors, including those of Delta, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, and Bayelsa State. According to Moka, the people's internal crisis were a reflection of years of mismanagement and poor leadership. The party has not issued an official response to the APC spokesman's remarks as of the time of reporting. Dr. Henry, before I ask my questions, I would love to have your opinion on this story.
When you listen to such release made by a spokesperson of a political party, that goes to inform us that these people has little or no intention of developing the space called Nigeria. Because if they have that intention of developing the space and the people occupying that space, things like this shouldn't have been. Though in Nigeria, we always believe that when politics of victimization is being played, that is when you coerce members of the public to be...
Sorry, is it politics of what?
Politics of victimization.
Vindication?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is not, for me, is not the kind of politics we needed, because as it stands now, Nigeria is still an underdeveloped country. So which means that we are not there. Okay. So what should be coming out from the mouth of these spokespersons of various political parties? How can we develop Nigeria? Not this politics of that winners take it all. I don't, so much have much interest of what Felix Moka, the spokesperson of APC, is saying. But my interest is, if at the end of the day, they just occupy the position of the president, and without doing the needful in developing Nigeria to what is expected of all Nigerians, then they will have a case. They will have, questions to answer by Nigerians. Because no matter what you do, no matter the statements you release as a political party spokesperson, and your doing does not affect an average Nigerian life, it means that you were just there for your personal enrichment. Now, taking a look at what he has said so far, that PDP is this and PDP is that. What happened to them when they came on power in 2015? How did they manage the economy that was at the verge of collapsing? And to where we are today, can they say that they have managed that economy that they thought, or even when they assumed power, they said that the economy was completely gone? And having noticed that the economy was completely gone, what impact, what strategy did they, bring on board to make sure that the economy is completely revived, even when Nigerians were crying out? Then coming to talk about PDP, there is nowhere, if we want to call a spade, that you can compare the role, the governance that the PDP brought to Nigerians to what APC as a political party has brought to Nigeria. Two different things, if you want to compare it and contrast as well. But for me, I don't see it as anything to go by. Nigerians are there to judge them.
Okay, I want to ask, it seems that there's a trend from shifting from individual competence to party. Do you think there's like a menace that poses a risk to our democracy?
Now, when you look at every person that has ever occupied an elective position in Nigeria, the Constitution provides that you must vie any elective position election via a political party. So it means that political party is that vehicle that will take you to where you want to be as a politician or as someone who wants to lead politically. Now, that is on one part. But every party that is driven by ideology will intend to say, okay, anybody that comes under this political party, this is the ideology of this political party, which one must work towards to make sure that this ideology, becomes real. But looking at, political parties currently in Nigeria, can we say that all of them are driven by ideology that can take Nigeria from point A to B? I think that question is left for Nigerians or for them as political parties who are making statements that are unguarded, according to me. I'm not quoting anybody here. So, for that reason, the political party that brought whoever into any position of power, now what are their ideologies? Because from there, you as an individual who contested election and won that same election on that same political party will add not to reduce or reduct anything from it. But where a political party does not have any ideology at all to ensure that where you made a particular position, you can improve it down to even down trolling it when you have made it. This is why political party in Nigeria, it's like when you are looking for an opportunity to grab something and you don't have that opportunity, but by merging or whatever factor you use, you are able to grab that at the end of the day, forgetting that the essence of leadership is to develop and improve the standard of living of the people.
Okay.
Do you understand the point there? Not just becoming you sit in your exalted office, you go with girls of sirens and all of that. That is not what leadership is all about. What have you been able to bring on board that would transform the people? One. Two, the space itself, that I'm talking about Nigeria itself, because when Nigeria is developed, it is completely means that the people are also developed. But where Nigeria is not developed, okay, should we start from the infrastructure. Today, Nigeria is still battling with road infrastructure, educational infrastructure, health infrastructure, economy, name it. And somebody will not look at that and see how to improve it. Yet you are still battling about this politics of propaganda for me.
Okay.
It's politics of propaganda.
You said...
Because at the end of the day, okay, now, after the removal of subsidy,
okay,
the president, vertically told Nigerians that, look, we have more money in the system now that is being gone to the 3 tiers of government, the federal government, the state government, and the local government. So which means if they used to receive ABCD amount of money, today they have received more than what they used to receive before. Now, can we say that this money has been optimally used to affect the lives of Nigerians the way it ought to be? So you cannot tell me that you have more money in the system and yet the conditions of the people you are leading has not improved in any way. So which means you've not done anything. So that is for me what they should be looking at, not this who defect or is not defected.
You mentioned, you said a party is the vehicle that takes upon the vehicle upon which a leader, a potential leader, rides upon to govern. Now, currently, would you say we, the electorates, we look out for, we want a conglomeration of members of B coming to form A, or we need a fresh system in our political sphere?
There's no way we can completely, say that when you want to form a system that is new, that people in that same locality can completely be eradicated. That is not possible.
Okay.
But we talked about fresh ideas. Recondition your mindset to thinking that, look, if we used to do A, B, and C, that does not in any way generate positive result, then we need to change from that strategy and move to another one that can make this result seen and tangible. So when the mind is reconditioned to seeing something different from the way he used to see it, that is transformation. That is the development we are talking about. But where you keep seeing things the way you saw it 10, 15 years ago, and you are not making any impact of changing from the way it used to be to try something else that can also make impact in the line, and you think you can act positively, no.
So are you positing that the members of PDP that are defected to APC must have realized that, okay, we didn't do this right, we didn't get this right when we were in PDP's thoughts, APC, we can get it right using APC?
The reasons why most of them even decamped from their former party to the new political party: one, they want to be recognized by the power at the center. That's one. Two, they want to share from the national cake that nobody asks questions. And even if Nigeria, asks questions, no tangible answers is given. So if you don't like, you go to court and challenge.
The national cake does
understand?
Okay. Must we be under the same umbrella for us to get equal shares?
Because that is what they think. That if you be in the same umbrella with the man at the center, then your request, can be speedily, answered, so that you share from what is being shared from that national. Okay. For me, I am not looking that way. I'm seeing as a betrayal of trust from the people.
Okay.
The people voted you as their governor under a specific political party. Before decamping, how many of them were you able to consult? But from the state assembly members, your EXCOs, and few other political figures who also, who are also your benefit, those who benefited from you as a governor. So you abandon the majority, because whether we like it or not, whether they accept it or not, democracy is all about the people. And where the people are jettisoned because of what they stand to benefit individually, that is no longer democracy. It becomes politics of personal interest. So now they don't want to, do things that will, attract the people's support even the more. Because where a leader have lost the support of the base, that is the people who have given him that mandate, it means that they will cleft to something they felt, look, since we've lost the support of the people, let us, cleft to this alternative in order to still get what we want. Because, Nigerian politicians who have polarized the system to suit their benefit and interest have seen that, look, if we recondition Nigerians to what we want them to be, then we'll always rule them the way we like or want.
Interesting.
Or which is not proper. Because one day, these people you are really getting to the background will one day rise to the occasion, which it will be difficult someday for you to override them the way you used to do in the past. You understand the point now? So for them, let them think, and what do we do as leaders to salvage the people?
Okay.
To make them feel the impact of governance. Because without feeling the impact of governance, economically, educationally, health-wise, providing the necessary basic infrastructure that drives a society to that civilization we expected. Today, like I talked about road infrastructure. If you go to some places, to some community, you don't have access road to those places. And don't be surprised, in 2026, it will be a political year where a lot of political parties will, elect candidates that will represent them in the general election 2027. You see them going to those communities without road, and they will go with their high rising cars to those places. Try, if you do this, do it again the next 4 years. Hey, we'll give you life. We'll make sure that you have electricity. We'll make sure that your road is started. Blah blah blah. And once they have the support of the people, and they will abandon the people and do what pleases them. That is what they do. So if at this 21st century, and at age 65, Nigeria is 65 years old now, and we don't have motorable roads, for you to travel from Port Harcourt to Lagos, you need to go into fasting, pray that you shouldn't have a road accident or being kidnapped by the miscreants who are using these bad roads as trapped for Nigerians. So if at the age of 65 we don't have road that we can travel 100 kilometers without potholes, then we need to think as leaders and do the needful.
Okay, Dr. Henry, you said most of the defections of these people are a betrayal of trust.
Of course.
The essence of governance is for the people.
Yes.
So, are you positing that a governor who looks at bought a particular vehicle, a party as a vehicle, and then along the road discovers that this vehicle may not take me to where I'm going to in terms of ruling my people? If he decides, okay, I don't want to go with ITC, I want to go with ROTC, are you saying that his defection is only on a personal ambition, or he has seen that, okay, in order for me to govern my people, I have to switch? There is room for switching in order for governance to take place.
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that the Constitution has made it so. That if you are not comfortable in Party A, that you can cross over to B. That's why I don't blame them completely, because the Constitution has made it so. But again, I want to quote from the former governor of Rivers State. He says, party is just a vehicle. That it doesn't matter the party that you belong. Everything lies on you as the leader. That if you are a leader that is proactive in thinking, that the sole reason why you're there is to develop the people and the space, that no matter the party you belong, you will do that. But if you as a person don't have anything upstairs to offer, if you like, go to the party that has the most driven, best ideology, you will still not perform. So the vehicle here is not just the vehicle alone, but who is the driver of that vehicle?
Okay.
So do you get the point now? Now, supposing Nigeria as a country went and acquired one of the best airplane to convey its president to wherever the president would want to go, and you brought a pilot, someone that does not have formal training at all as a pilot, what do you think will happen to that aircraft and the president inside? That is the case of Nigeria. That is the case of Nigeria. Now, let me also say this. Now, you see, the political party for me, they're not bad. It is a conglomerate of people coming together to form, as authorized by the Constitution. And if you have this political party with people with the same mind who think about development, their point A is development, point B is development, C is development, all round is development. Do you think that such political party will not develop if they come to power by the support of the people? They will do well. But if you have the same political party and you have people whose interest is just for them and them alone, my dear, you got nothing. Nothing. Okay. So I think what Nyesom Wike said, for me, it's a right thing. It's what happened. So if you are in a political party, and this political party, being a vehicle, does not have a good driver, the vehicle will be plunged into a river with the people and the man who drives it. That's right.
Okay, thank you.
That is exactly what is happening.
All right, Dr. Henry, thank you for your opinion on that story. Move on to the next story for discussion. African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused President Bola Tinubu of attempting to turn Nigeria into a one-party state following the recent defections of the governors of Enugu and Bayelsa states to the All Progressives Congress, APC. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC described the defections as a betrayal of the people and a major setback for democracy. According to the party, while the defections may seem to strengthen the APC, they in fact weaken democracy by eroding opposition and concentrating power in the hands of the ruling party. The ADC criticized the defected governors for abandoning their citizens and joining a government that it said had failed to tackle insecurity, economic hardship, and poor governance. Abdullahi condemned the moves as historic political apostasy, saying they revealed a clear divide between those fighting for Nigeria's redemption and those seeking personal gain. He added that the 2027 general elections would be a defining battle between Nigerians and what he called Tinubu's gang of governors, vowing that the opposition would remain steadfast despite ongoing defections. Defection is a personal decision. What role he's positing that it's turned into a one-party state? Is his statement justified? Are we going to point to the president and are we going to point to a system of cajoling, believing that defection is a personal decision?
I spoke about Felix Omarka, who also, talked about those who defected from PDP to their party, APC. Then, now, Abdullahi, the spokesperson of the ADC. The question here is, supposing these two governors of the PDP stock that defected from People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress defected to African Democratic Congress, do you think the way Abdullahi sounded would have been the way he should have sounded?
So you're saying he's sounding this way because it wasn't to the ADC?
Fine. So let me tell you. You see, Nigerian politicians. This Abdullahi was of the APC. I remember very vividly. He was a spokesperson of the APC at the National.
Okay.
You understand my point? Most of their members, how many of them that are the chieftains of the African Democratic Congress today that were not either in PDP or APC? So when they, see, that's why I don't like when politicians speak from both sides of their mouth, as if Nigerians do not have brains to reason or think of who they are in the past. So what is happening in Nigeria today politically, this Abdullahi, the spokesperson of ADC, cannot exonerate himself that he did not contribute to the mess we are in today in this country.
But Dr. Henry, beyond Abdullahi, don't you see this as a menace towards eroding the multi-party system?
I will come to that. Now, looking at that, since you've asked, APC has 24. Has taken over 24 states today. So I'm talking to you today. I don't know the decision of Diri. Maybe is thinking towards that. But if Diri decided to go to APC to make 25, that is, APC will have 25 states of this country. PDP has about 8 or thereabout, 7.
9.
9. Okay, let's look at it that way too. Now, if a particular political party has taken 24 of the states, APGA has 1, Labour Party has 1, NNPP has 1. Is it not a clear indication that Nigeria, as people are pointed at, tilting towards a one-party state? It's clear. And the APC is still willing to coerce more other party members into their fold.
Your word there, coerce. Are we removing the facts that these governors, the defecting, first is a personal decision? Are you positing that APC goes about coercing governors? If you don't join us, you won't get. You won't get. If you don't join us, this will happen to you. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't forget what Adam Shoshimula said when he was the national chairman of the APC. He said that if you want your sins, all the sins you've committed politically, to be forgiven, cross over from wherever you are to the APC, and your sins, will be completely forgiven.
Interesting.
Now tell me, don't you also think that could also be the reason behind these gales of defections happening in 2025 alone? You have 4 prominent members of the People's Democratic Party defecting to the APC. Now, also look at it in this way. Apart from being coerced, either by threat, most of them knew their political sins they have committed over time. Most of them has been found to have been very corrupt when they held one position before becoming governor. And so with that, they know that if they fail to do the needful, and if they turn the agency of government that checkmates corrupt practices, they will be the scapegoats.
Dr. Henry, let's look at someone like Governor Omo Eno of Akwa Ibom State and the recent defection, December. Would you say these men also are corrupt, and then because of their corrupt tendencies, they migrated?
None of them that did not hold one political office or the other before becoming governor.
Okay.
Like Umoda has been a commissioner for 6 years or thereabout before he was elected as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. And there was this saga of certificate forgery and all of that, which I don't want to talk about. The court said there was nothing like that.
Okay.
And I don't want to go into that because the court said there was nothing like that. Can any of them who are governors today boldly say that they did not indulge in one corrupt practices or the other? Well, they will answer that. But you see, there is a way of coercing someone to be part of your association. It could be an enticement of things that you lack or need as a person. 2, it could be that when they open your corrupt practice record, say, this man has committed so much, when it comes to politics. Let us flash it to his face. If you fail, then we'll ask the anti-corrupt agency to go after them. And you see that will also be striking fear into them. And I listened to where somebody was. I listened to a radio station today when somebody called and talked about that one of the things that made most of them to defect is fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of, being losing, because most of them are one-term governor.
Okay.
And so they believe that if they still remain in their political party that is being antagonist and they have a lot of problem, I'm talking about the PDP here, that it might be difficult for them to have the ticket to run for their second term. And so for that reasons, for them to, have that security in time to come, they need to take the next step to the next political party that will guarantee them. These people don't even believe on the people anymore. Going by their actions. Because if they believe that democracy is all about the people, and the people, possess enormous power when it comes to election, then the issue of defection shouldn't have been worrisome to them. But because they know that even when the people rejected them through their vote, they still have avenues to rig their way in to the office again.
Okay, go on.
Now, if democracy is all about the people, it is the people that give you the power, the mandate. The defection is nothing. If you like, remain in a political party that is known by nobody. So far you are doing the good thing that affects the people positively. Then the next election, if you go back and tell them, please vote for me, they will, because of what you've been able to do in the past 4 years. But when you've done nothing at all, when the standard of living of the people is not improved from stage 1 to stage 2, and you look at all of this, so the best thing for you to do, you moved into a political party that have the government forces around them. Because one who is on authority, take for instance, you have the police, you have the army, the air force, the navy, and other security agencies, which not today, and of course not that you didn't know, that all the military, the police, and other paramilitary is commanded by the president. So you can see the power that the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria has invested on the seat of the presidency.
Okay.
So because there is no election that is rigged in this country that security agency is not involved. If you take a study very deeply, you will understand what I'm saying.
But
most of them,
they are not collation officers.
I know that somebody will say allegedly, because everything in Nigeria...
They're not collation officers.
That's what I'm saying. In Nigeria today, even when something is so open that everybody have seen, and when you say, they say allegedly. Okay, let me say that allegedly. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
So that I will not be, looked at somebody who says...
Because I was asked if they are collation officers.
Now, there are not collation officers, so to say.
Okay.
But when you look at most of the dirty things that is being done at the polling unit and the collation center, something happened during the 2023 election. At the collation center at Obiopo, local government, the security agencies were selected people that should be at the collation center. Well, that's a story for another day. But you see, if the governors or any elected official knows that, look, it is the people that put me in that position via election, defection shouldn't be. But when they know that even that position they rig their way through, they want to look for another avenue or another mechanism that will take them to that position which they are unhindered. Unhindered. So but this time, I think there will be difference.
Why do you think
I'm not a prophet.
Okay.
Because the people are willing to take their destiny in their own hands. So it's not going to be tawdry, wreaking tawdry as usual.
Okay.
Because the people will be ready. You know, when the people are ready, when the people says no, all what you are saying, all these things will stop. Because no amount of intimidation will stop the will of the people when the people are ready. And I'm thinking, and I also think deeply that Nigerians are ready because the conditions in which they are currently is not palatable, it's not comfortable, it's not conducive. And they want to liberate themselves by themselves and for themselves, because that's the tenet of democracy.
Okay, Dr. Henry, one more question. Would you say the multi-party system has favored us as a people?
Because looking at the nature of Nigeria Constitution, you know, gives room for multi-party system. And so looking at what is happening currently is tilting towards having a one-party state, which as it stands now, apart from the ADC and few voices, do we have a compatible opposition in this country currently? The answer is no. Apart from those individuals who are activists. You understand that they defy all odds. They said whatever that will happen, let it happen. And you see them talking. But how many of the political parties, okay, look at PDP. Have they ever pointed anything that the APC is doing as an opposition? The answer is no. Because most of them are collaborators with the party in power to weaken the party. I'm talking about the PDP here. Because in doing that, they also stand to benefit either from the ruling party. So for me, today is not a day I should be talking about how PDP is. I'm not talking about that. But we, talked about the defection of these people from their party to other political party. But for me, if the interest of Nigeria has anything to do with them, then they should think first about the interest of the people before their interest. Because that's what leadership entails. When you always think about yourself and yourself alone, and maybe a few of your cronies, what about the people?
All right, Dr. Henry, thank you for your opinion on that story. And now on to the next story for discussion. National Assembly is considering an amendment to the 2022 Electoral Act that would make the use of the Permanent Voter Card (PVC) optional during elections. The proposal discussed at a public hearing in Abuja seeks to allow voters to use alternative forms of identification, such as the National Identification Number (NIN), birth certificate, or international passport for accreditation. Lawmakers argue that since the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVA, does not utilize the PVC's microchip, the card is unnecessary. The amendment also includes a provision making electronic transmission of results compulsory. It mandates presiding officers to transmit results both electronically and manually to ensure transparency and reduce manipulation. Civil society organizations like Yaga Africa have expressed support, urging lawmakers to go further by including full electronic voting in the act to enhance credibility and ensure votes count. Additionally, the proposed changes introduce stricter penalties for election officers who mishandle ballot papers or results sheets. Offenders could face at least 1 year imprisonment of a 1 million naira fine. LPDP governors running lawmakers said the move aims to strengthen electoral integrity, reduce PVC-related fraud, and improve voter participation. Towards every election, there are changes. The last time the 2023 election, it was established that the PVC is a primary means of voting. But now we are seeing a change. Before I go into my question, let me ask your opinion on this story.
Okay. Trying to provide, other avenues of improving our electoral process. For me, I'm in support of that. But what I will not support is trying to intrigue the people. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Trying to intrigue the people is when you introduce something which ordinarily that this is not going to bring about the needed changes as is expected. But if they want to prove themselves being the representative of the people, who is saddled with the responsibility of making laws and also make amend of areas where it has some edges, there is no two ways about that. It is what doing. But don't trick the people that this is what you want to do, but at the end of the day, it becomes an avenue to tarnish everything. But then, looking at the issue that has to do with the usage of what do we call PVC, personal voters card, to vote in every election.
Permanent, yeah.
It's not bad, but how are they going to do it? I asked my legal practitioner friend some times ago, as it concerns this. He said, for this to be effective, there are some sections in the ground norms, I'm talking about the Constitution, that needs to undergo an amendment to ensure that whatever they will propose and pass into law at the end of the day will not be hanky. Just like the issue of local government autonomy as ruled by the Supreme Court, that they said before it could have a bite, it must have its way into the Constitution, which nobody can do that apart from the representative of the people in the National Assembly, either the senators or the House of Reps members. Now, looking at this proposal, will it change the narrative, or will it change the dynamics of Nigeria's electoral process? It could or not. Now, let me start from the area that it could change. If the representative of the people, the lawmakers, are sincere to this proposal.
Okay.
Because in a situation where you are a resident of, let's assume you are a resident of Rumokota, and you have PVC, and you want to vote during a general election, and you are not closer to where you are a registered voter, but you have that interest of voting with your voter's card. It means that if this law changed towards the direction they are proposing, it means that you are going to vote anywhere you are, because the data bank that has captured the data of Nigerian voters will be when you use, they call it bimodal, accredited, whatever.
Okay.
So it's just your thumbprint.
Okay.
Will show that, hey, this person is a registered voter in Nigeria, which means automatically at that moment you have the right to vote. But in a situation where you only have right to vote is when you travel to your registration point before you can vote. So it's denied so many Nigerians opportunity to vote. That is one. Then on the other hand, this new proposal, they also said that they will allow results to be transmitted both electronically and manually. Dr. Henry, as an analyst, I won't subscribe to that.
Okay.
Though they may have reasons. So for that, I want them to give detailed reasoning.
There has been a rise in apathy on the part of the electorate. So don't you think these are measures to encourage people I'm coming to INEC, but to encourage people to okay, there are reforms coming up. These reforms could be enticement or bait or encouragement or signs of improvement in the electoral system. Don't you think so?
Well, before I said yes or no, looking at this proposal towards changes some of the things in the electoral process, for me, it's ideal.
Okay.
It's ideal. But are they sincere to these proposals? That's my point. I'm not against it. Like I did talk about transmitting election results via electronic.
That was one of the proposals.
And also transmit it manually.
Okay.
something happened during the last election. I was in the field. I saw everything. They were able to transmit results from the National Assembly, that is House of Reps and the Senate. But coming to the presidential election, the code they gave to all the electoral officials that will enable them to transmit that result they got from the result sheet and transmit SEM through the beavers to the national server. When they type in that code, the code was completely rejected.
Interesting.
I hope they are not going to design something similar in the next coming election, because Nigerians will resist it, not through violence, but through their intellect. So if they want to go electronic, please let us. After all, Nigerians are agitating for electronic voting. You vote electronically, transmit electronically, so that people will see if, for instance, Dr. Bassey voted in any polling unit. The moment I am accredited and vote, my vote should be transmitted via electronic to the server that will reflect that this person has voted to so and so political party or individual. But where you propose the two, it will be done manually. No. It's not done that way.
So we should choose one.
Choose one.
Okay.
And that one must be credible. The process must be credible, must be sound and proven enough to show Nigerians that, look, your interest of this proposal is genuine and devoid of any extortion at the end of the day. But anything outside that is just to tell Nigerians we are ready, when within them they know that they are not ready. It's just to trick Nigeria. Just to trick Nigerians.
Okay, Professor Joash Amopiton was recently nominated as the INEC chairman, and today he's going to be screened by the National Assembly. What's your take on that? Is that a pointer towards electoral reforms that are geared towards making the 2027 election a better one?
That is a process in the first place. That's a process. So, as to appoint the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, that is a process, and that one is clear. So, when the president nominated him, through the consultation of the National Council of State, which comprised the former president, the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, the current governors, and the rest of them. Well, I don't have anything against Professor Joyce as a person.
Okay.
It's new. Looking at his profile, it has a very sound profile. But what about others who occupy such position? Did they have a sound profile as well? Yes, they did. Somebody like the past chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had a very decent sound record. But did that transmitted to the position he held? The answer is no. I want to believe that as a professor of law, somebody who has been a deputy vice chancellor before, not only that, a senior advocate of Nigeria. When I went through his profile, I was smiling, in the sense that when you select such a sound academic to be in such a position that is very dear to Nigerians, very dear to Nigerians. So, well, the man has a wonderful profile. It's up to him. If as of today that the Senate will, approve his nomination by the president. If Nigerian means anything to him as an individual, let him conduct credible elections come 2027. But of course, I don't have anything to say as it regards his person.
That's okay.
You understand? But his actions as INEC chairman will be proven to all Nigerians, whether he's there to dance to the pipers, to the one who pays the piper, or he will ensure that the right thing is being done as an electoral umpire.
All right, thank you, Dr. Harry, for your opinion on that story. And you're still watching the Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. We're going to a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with the rest of our stories. Do stay tuned.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money with proof in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money with proof in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally.
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money with proof in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect.
Welcome back and thank you for staying still with us. I've been in the studio with Dr. Henry Bassi, and we've been discussing on our stories on this episode of an open conversation. And right now we'll delve into the rest of our stories. Senator Siriake Dixon, PDP bias, has criticized the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, accusing them of abandoning the party after creating internal crises. Speaking to journalists after Wednesday's plenary, Dixon condemned the recent defection of Bayelsa Governor Doye Diri and others to the All Progressives Congress, APC, describing their actions as sad and damaging to Nigeria's democracy. Dixon maintained that the defecting governors were responsible for the challenges plaguing the PDP, but chose to bail out instead of fixing the problems they caused. He reaffirmed his loyalty to the party, saying he remained committed to strengthening the opposition and ensuring Nigeria does not become a one-party state. The former Bayelsa governor also expressed support for President Bola Tinubu's nomination of Professor Joash Amupitun as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. He praised the choice, noting that Amupitun's credentials as a professor of law and senior advocate of Nigeria make him suitable to lead electoral reforms. Former Governor Siriake Dixon accusing governors running away from PDP of abandoning the crisis they created. What's your opinion on that story? So
I want to say that when the issue of Rivers State was on the front burner, he was the only person that spoke very well condemning the action of the president. Now, in this defection, he's also saying that, look, those who are defecting to that political party are the same people that caused this crisis in PDP.
Okay.
But one might say it's not true. But for me, it's true. And I will tell you. Now, when a political party who is ideologically driven have members who sometimes will introduce something strange into that political arena as against your laws, and you close your eyes as if you've seen nothing. And that is when they invite anarchy into their midst. And when that, lawlessness act continue, it is said in the Lugu Palace, when illegality is practiced for a number of time without someone pointing it out or resisting over it, people assume to be a norm.
Yeah.
And that is what is happening in PDP. This problem started 2014 prior to 2015 general election, which they lost at the center. And it continues till 2019 election, 2023 election, and it generated to what we are seeing today. When someone has done wrong, and you have your constitution that spells out what an indisciplined member what should be done to such a person, and you close your eyes, you seal your lips without saying anything, without doing anything, and all they will be saying, we are trying to resolve our problem, the crisis that is bedeviling. Imagine that. Even when somebody was saying that you cannot expel me from this party. Imagine that. If you look at what happens in Nigerian political parties in the 70s, late 70s and 80s, and even on 90s, you will see that political party belongs to the people. It is the people that owns the political party. And I said it here some time ago, and I stand to be corrected, that the day political party is given to the people, then political party will be strengthened. But as long as we continue in this trajectory...
You mean political power? Or political
I'm talking about political party here.
Okay.
As long as we continue in this trajectory of allowing an influential individual to own a political party, then this problem will continue. A situation where an individual will say, I am the sole sponsorship of this political party. So what do you think will happen? Anything that goes against his will and interest will be a problem. And that was what happened to to PDP. I mean to APC. So now, do we say that all of these that played them as a political party, they didn't know? They knew. But all of them who benefited from one faction or the other, keep believing that as long as the crisis lasts, they will be benefiting.
Okay.
They will be having their kickbacks. They will keep smiling to bank. But not knowing that you are digging a grave to bury this political party in time to come. And it has happened.
So you're saying the way the APC is going in terms of PDP or
PDP.
Okay.
Because Dixon is referring this, that those who defected, the governors who defected, are the people who plunged the party to the crisis that the party is in today. And it's true. I am in support of that. Because when somebody has done something wrong, instead the party to discipline the person, they will say, don't worry, we'll settle it.
But is it the party? Is it the party that's meant to discipline the person, or does the constitution says this should be done and this should be done?
And that's what I'm saying. The party has a constitution. And so where the constitution of the party is inactive, based on one person's opinion and interest. So what do you think? So what you are saying will play out. So if somebody has done something and the party stood their ground and said, look, this is what Section A, B of our constitution says, then you need to be suspended. So when you fully realized your mistakes and apologize, then you can be called back to the fore. And if you have done something that, needs an outright expulsion, please go out of the party. Let the party has new breath. But you allowed all this danger, all kinds of things to exist in the party, and you said you want to win election? I don't know. How will you win this election? With all of this?
Dr. Henry, most of the crises in parties, I don't want to point to anyone, most of them stem from individual interests. Maybe if there are 20 members in a party, probably 5 persons have clashes of interest, and then it spreads. And then, so you wouldn't say the problem was caused by everybody. So if you are in such a scenario where you are seeing the cankerworm eating through your party, would you still stay there?
See, the day we allowed money bags to take over the control of political parties, that is the day we invite trouble upon trouble to political parties.
Money bags?
Yes. Because political party used to be sponsored and funded by members of the political party. And that is where you can have the prestige of that political party reigning for a long time. But where an individual be the one that sponsors political party, all this wrangling is what you will expect at the end of the day. That is a problem here. Because tell me somebody who pumped in millions or if not billions of naira into that same political party.
He has a upper say.
And when the person maybe has done something wrong, and you want to call the person, say, how dare you? How much do you put in here? Keep your mouth shut. That is what is happening. Let's call it spade. Until we point out these errors, we will keep traveling on the same road that will plunge us into pit hole. You can't run a political party this way.
Based on individual.
You can't run it that way. Yes, Somwike openly said that it was the person that sponsored this political party when all of them ran away from the political party 2015. And that was why he decided to detect what happened in the political party. If all of them were to be the sole sponsor of the PDP, do you think that an individual...
Are you saying Reaction is the sole problem of AP's party?
He said so. I am not the one. He said so some time ago. Former governor, he said so very openly that when all of them ran away, he mentioned most of their names that were members of PDP. So when that disorganization came 2015 that APC won the election at the center.
Okay.
Things fall apart. Most of them ran away. So he was the sole sponsor of the party.
Yes, Omike?
Yes.
But you know, we had other players in the party.
When you have other...
It wasn't, and you know, at a point, it was like, it was ticketing became an issue in
I know. Before
the crisis. So are you alleging that Wike is at the root of the problem?
Well, you can say so. You can say that.
No, I'm quoting you based on what you said.
What I said you can say so. I will agree. If you use the word allegedly, fine. But let us, look at the right path that leads to the genesis of the crisis that bedeviling People's Democratic Party as a political party. And not only PDP. When the people are the control of the political party, Dick and Tom, who are members, contributed their quota to fund the political party. No one person would lay claim of the political party. And if you also look at, out of the 18 political parties we have in this country today, if not more, some of them are being registered by an individual, calling others to come and support. That support not financially. In fact, sometimes you want to, they say, don't worry, we'll fund everything. Such idea kills political party. Because the person's will must always prevail. Yeah. And if they fail to allow his will to prevail, the party will go to oblivion. The party will go into flame. And that's what is happening to PDP.
All right, Dr. Henry, thank you. I think I'll hold your line on that for now. On to the next story. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has dismissed fears of Nigeria sliding into a one-party state, insisting that no political party can capture any region through the defection of governors. Reacting in Abuja to the recent defection of Enugu State Governor Peter Mba and Bayelsa Governor Doye Diri to the All Progressives Congress APC, Obi said leadership in a democracy is based on persuasion, not coercion. Obi maintained that political defections do not automatically translate to control of a state, stressing that the people will decide where to go, not governors or senators. He described the notion of capturing a state as a relic of Nigeria's military past and urged the politicians to respect democratic choice and the will of the people. The former Anambra State Governor advised public officials to prioritize good governance and policies that improve citizens' lives, warning that political realignment without performance cannot earn genuine public loyalty. His comments come amid growing concern that mass defections to the APC could tilt Nigeria toward one-party dominance before the 2027 elections. Obi rejecting defection politics based on Peter Mba's defection to the APC.
They say he who goes to equity must go with what? Clean hands. Peter Obi, I respected him.
Respected?
I respect Peter Obi as a person, as an individual.
Okay.
But like I did say, they say he who goes to equity must go with what? Clean hands. Can Peter Obi exonerate himself? He won election into Anambra State as a governor on the platform of ABGA. And today, where is he? Where is Peter Obi today? He later defected to People's Democratic Party, PDP, just to contest the election. By 2023, when PDP could no longer, provide platform for him to run for the presidency, he defected to Labour Party. And currently, he's forming alliance with what they call coalition, which the coalition has pitched their tent on African Democratic Congress, ADC, as a political party to realize whatever they want to realize. As it stands now, nobody even knows the position of Obi. Is Obi still the member of Labour Party? Nobody knows. So that's why I'm saying he who goes to equity must go with clean hands. Obi does not have the moral standing to talk about defection because he's one of them. He's one of them. The only person that should talk about defection in this country and say whatever he likes is the current president. That has not moved to anywhere. But for him, as a person, at least has been in 3 political parties: ABGA, PDP, and Labour Party.
But Dr.
So
Harry,
what moral ground does he have? See, I respected Obi as a person.
Does that?
But from his standpoint on this defection, whatever they do, I think they borrow a leaf from him.
A leaf.
Whatever they do, as those who defected from one political party to another, they borrow a leaf from him. Why did he not remain in Afghan? That gave him political prominence. Why? Why did he leave Afghan to PDP? And from PDP to Labour Party? You see, sometimes when you follow Nigerian politicians, when it favors them, everything is okay. And when it does not favor them, everything has gone bad. But me, as one who monitors situations in this country, will never join hands or join voices with any of them in their speeches or whatever they stand to condemn. Though Obi is entitled to his opinion.
Because I also asked you yesterday, we saw yesterday there were two defections, so Governor Doyo Diri and the former Senator Ben Bruce. Now, out of the 5 states of making the Southeast, we just have 2 states that are not, I think, not tied to the APC, which is Anambra and Abia State currently. Enugu just moved. Imo State has moved for a long while. I think
for a long time ago, during the time of Richard Okorocha.
Peter will be crying out defection politics. Are you saying his cry, his stance does not hold water?
It does for me as a person.
Irrespective of the mass defections that are simultaneously happening.
Those points he raised points to the fact that actually it's a betrayal of trust.
Okay.
I said that before.
Yeah.
I am not saying it's 100% okay for them to have defected from a platform that has given them or have taken that have taken them to where they are today. It's improper. But looking at the statement that is coming from somebody like him, Peter Obi, who has been in 3 different political parties, does he have the moral standing to judge those who are defecting? The answer is no. Let us tell ourselves the truth when it comes to like I told you, I respect him as a person. But from what he has said so far, can we say that Peter Obi have the moral justification to say what he said? For me, it's no. Others may also hold a view toward, but looking at what he said, that you were elected on party A to be in the position you are today, and tomorrow you abandon that same political party and go to another political party. Now, I said it some times ago, if not 2 days ago, that Peter Mba became governor of Enugu State via PDP as a political party. Were they not APC when it contested the election 2023?
Okay.
There was APC, All Progressive Congress. Why did he not join it then? You see, sometimes these people shouldn't take us for a ride. That we, the masses, we don't know anything. They should also remember they were part of us. I mean, one of us. Before you become governor, president, you were part of us. You spring up from the masses. So they shouldn't see us as people who does not have any ideas at all, who does not have anything to think out from the box. But rather they should see themselves as those who are deceiving the people, who are making the people see them as those who are not to be trusted. So they shouldn't come and deceive us with their painted statements and speeches that defection. Who was the first person that defected? If the defection is anything to go by, they learn it from Peter Obi.
But the political terrain during Peter Obi's time and political terrain now are not the same.
Whether it is the same or not, defection is defection.
Okay, Dr. Harry, thank
you.
That is it. Thank you for your opinion on that story. We'll go to the last story for the discussion this morning. Dr. Salma Anas Ibrahim, Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Health, has lamented the continued marginalization of women in politics and executive positions despite their proven capabilities. Speaking at the opening of a gender-responsive advocacy workshop organized by GIZ and co-funded by the EU, Anna said women contribute over 80% of votes in elections but have failed to translate this influence into leadership power. She urged women to change their approach by building confidence, mentoring one another, and actively lobbying for leadership positions. We must support each other politically, even if we share the same husband, she said, stressing the need for women to expand their networks and advocate for self-development to break systemic barriers. And has commended President Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum for appointing women to key executive roles, noting that Borno has set a positive example in women's political participation. She expressed optimism that with greater inclusion and determination, Nigerian women could make a significant impact in the 2027 elections. I'd love to have your... do you think women are still marginalized in politics?
The person's advocacy is in the right direction. Why do I say so? Women are co-nation builders, and there is no way they should be sidelined for any reason, because I believe that there are very intelligent women when it comes to leadership, and they have something to offer. Today, if you go to some countries in Africa, we have women who serve as president, even currently. And when you go to those countries, I mean, they perform creditably well. So for me, the disparities that is witnessing in the Nigerian political space when it comes to the appointment of women into political position, it's not all that balanced, in the sense that, look, I'm not saying that pack the Nigerian women into your exco, I mean, yes, the exco as, as a president, as a governor, as whoever, no. But give them a sense of belonging.
Okay.
Let them also contribute their quarters. The likes of Dr. Nkosi Okonjo-Iweala today is making Nigeria and Africa proud. Let's assume that this woman was left in one cassava farm. Well, she has become what she is today.
Obviously not.
There were a lot of platforms who had given her opportunity to excel to where she is today. She served in the World Bank, served Nigeria as Minister of Finance and Minister of Foreign Affairs. And from today is a DG of the World Trade Organization, WTO. And it's not disappointing Nigeria or Africa or women as a whole. So for me, what the convener of that program is saying, it's not deviated at all.
Would you also say women are taking the advantages given to them, or they are shying away from, because currently the National House of Assembly are proposing more seats for women in the National Assembly.
You know, when it comes to election in Nigeria, unless there is a law, but when you look at the position of our laws, an election, you must be voted for. You must be voted for.
All right.
Except when it comes to appointment. When it comes to appointment, please, government should consider giving women, a greater percentage of being appointed into government positions.
All right, thank you, Dr. Henry, for your opinion on that story. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. I want to thank Dr. Henry for being on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you more in the show.
Thank you.
Don't forget, we are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placement, news, events, coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our websites, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and our TV channel 205, Niger TV, iFatech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Night. And don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Favour Chikwesiri Michael. Transition News comes up next.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. There are POS operators. She's sending it down the